Hey, checking in with the Rover Boys. I'm up to chapter 22. God damn it. Yes, chapter 22 of the Rover Boys. So, well into it, like 77% of the way through. Um, there's a couple of things I should really get down, some of which I think have already evaporated from my mind. I've definitely already kind of mentioned the militarism, which definitely I can see coming through in this just of kind of yeah, okay, there's this whole thing of it's a military school and it's very much about them training to be soldiers. This being considered a manly kind of pursuit of this is how you become men, is a good way of education, and probably education for very rambunctious boys, especially. They're slightly sent there as a punishment, even though they seem to like, oh boy, great, we are getting to this we're getting to go to military school. It's like it's a really good thing, and it definitely seems to be kind of portrayed in that right. There's definitely a thing of like, okay, it's all about marching with only like I think once a month them practicing on how to shoot, which sounds very much like I'm listening to as kind of an account of Winston Churchill in the Boer War and how the British soldiers far more were focused on doing drills about like formation and stuff like that, and were not nearly as good of shots as the Boer, the white South Africans. Well, what will become white South Africans, the Boers, at their marksmanship. Also having that they have smokeless guns, so are able to hide and be snipers. Before Nobel creates the smokeless gunpowder, it was very easy to see, oh, someone's hiding, and they're hiding right there because there's a big poof of gunpowder smoke. One of the other innovations was this smokeless gunpowder, as well as just accuracy and deadliness of guns, getting more and more efficient as just killing machines. But yeah, just like the idea of like, oh, this is very much yeah, military school where we're focusing in on the drills and stuff like that. There is a scene where I'm gonna have to go look it up. There's a thing of them at Christmas time, and they put on a play, and it seems to be a play about poor people and making fun of them, which is just like okie doke. It was apparently rip-roariously funny, with a good number of the boys, especially some of the Rovers, getting to play Tom playing a girl, which he was complimented on by the Lanning sisters who are there. So there's that, and how uproariously funny that is. That still is something that's funny now. Um, the other thing I would make note of is the bully, Dan Baxter, who is an asshole. He is definitely an asshole. He is a right bastard. But it turns out that his father is Nolly, the guy who met up with the thief in the woods, and that Tom noticed, this guy with a scar on his chin, the telltale scar on his chin. And that in itself seems to be a thing that's it. The boys notice this. They go to Captain Putnam with it, which I don't see how this isn't just tattletaling as well, and would get them in shits with, if not with Captain Putnam, with the rest of the boys. But apparently, when they do it, it's okay. Tattletaling that they saw him go into a tavern with what turns out to be his father, um, and receives money from his father. Um, and Baxter doesn't. I mean, to be the credit of Captain Putnam, he's like, well, I don't know if I throw him out for this, but structurally it doesn't matter. Baxter escapes, says, I don't like this place anyways, and I'm going to escape and get out and join my father in a bad, in all his up to no goodness way. Um, so we get that, and then when the boys go home for Christmas, their uncle, is it Richard Rover? Can't remember what his name is. Says like, well, there was a man with a scar on his chin who had some bad dealings with your father, and indeed, It was over a mining thing, and he actually shot your father in the arm. And you should watch out because he is your father's deadliest foe. Which is like, oh, okay, we've up the thing there. So we're really tying the Baxter family as again the Rover family, and of course the Rovers are the really good guys, and the Baxters are the evil guys. Even though we actually have not at this point seen him do anything other than he seemed to have some association with the guy that they know actually did, rob Dick of the watch and various other and his money. Though I don't think he got away with the money. He just got away with the watch, which was it's a gold watch. It was a far more valuable thing. But it's like one of these things where, like, at this point, it's like the Rover boys are real assholes as well. There's definitely the kind of the fondness for practical jokes. They're snowed in, and Josiah Crabtree, who is trying to pressure a widow of who is the mother of a girl that Dick is sweet on, Doris Stanhope. This is the girl he's sweet on, into marrying him. Josiah Crabtree wants to marry Dora's mother, and they don't like him. He's a mean guy, and he got dismissed from the school, partially just being so cruel and assholeish to the boys. And this is kind of the last straw when he tries to do all the stuff to Tom, who, doing another practical joke, sets off a firecracker as he arrives. But the they're really tormenting this teacher who, yeah, he's like the widow hasn't told him to fuck off, so we don't know exactly what her thing is, but the boys have definitely decided it's wrong, and that her daughter has decided it's wrong, and she's kind of like typical kind of mother figure in this, is weak-willed and easily cowed and bullied by Josiah Crabtree, this worthless son of a bitch. Um, but they decide they're going to play another joke on him, so they will go out and buy a bunch. Tom goes out and buys a bunch of crabs and sneaks them into the bed, causes a giant ruckus. Apparently, I don't it's like he probably wouldn't have got kicked out, but that fact that he's such a miser, and he was an asshole to the proprietor about a bunch of things and making sure the room, he was like a big problem already, and then he does this, so that results in him getting kicked out onto the street in the middle of the night in the cold, and swearing revenge on whoever did this on me again. It's like this, like, you haven't seen the last of me. A lot of this stuff getting set up for more bad adventures. But you're just like, oh, man, these Rover boys are complete little fucking twerps. You don't like them. Um, I definitely should note that these like aren't really well written, especially a lot of the "he said grinningly" or uh, "he ejaculated." He There's a lot of Swiftisms, which actually I think are probably Tom Swift, which actually comes from this mill of writers who are producing the Stratemeyer mill, using this kind of really awkward attributions, verbal attributions. He said swiftly, he swift, all this kind of Swifties, all this kind of really awkward. So there's a lot of awkward writing in there, but while the writing is either rudimentary or awkward at times, it also has a lot of energy. And I think a part of that is have a tendency, like with each chapter, which is about 10 minutes long to read, it's always um, the chapter gets through like, it'll be like the chapter starts in the middle of what started in the last chapter. It'll get through that, and then it'll start the next kind of adventure, but then it'll stop. Then the chapter will cut that adventure in half, and you'll get the other half of the adventure in the next one. So it makes for very pulling you through, just structurally pulls you through the story quite quickly, which I can see this is not an accident. That is well constructed. If simple and basic storytelling, it's simple and basic, and it's a formula that works. So it's you want to it keeps with the formula, which is, is effective. Even like, you can say like, oh, the writing's not that great, but the formula of kind of propulsing you through the book is actually effective that way, and having hissable villains and having romance, kind of love interests in the books. It's interesting that, like, this is a boys book, but it's like we're definitely interested in girls in this book. So it's not like girls stink or anything. Like, these are teen boys who are interested in girls, obviously all very chaste and pure and all that stuff. It's good fellows and all that. But yeah, so those are my things that I should talk out right now. So if I actually, God help me, do a review of the Rover Boys at school, or the Cadets of Putnam Hall, which is its other title, I will have information to say. I mean, I think the military kind of thing. Uh, I don't think that's an accident of this kind of. This is a time when the United States is going to become more military, and that's sort of a part of a not unintelligent part of the zeitgeist that Edward Stratemeyer is tapping into and feeding to the kids, who are probably already getting it from various other things. I don't think he's inventing this. I think this is like, gonna latch onto this as a popular, I see, as a smart businessman, this is military stuff is appealing. Let's send the kids to military school. Woohoo! That's a good thing. All right. I will leave it there. More videos later.